this evening, Wednesday, the 9th of November, 2022. How are you? I hope your day has been lovely. I welcome you to Adult Conversations where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Here on Adult Conversations, you will give all the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio runs every Monday through Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m., because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story that you want us to bring to the family of Adult Conversations, then make sure to send in your story along with your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Tonight on Adult Conversations. My name is Sheung. On my birthday 2 months ago, my boyfriend of 1 year sent me a lot of sweet voice notes, posted me on all his social media, and wrote nice things about me. He also took me to a very nice dinner that night. All of these were nice, but he didn't buy me any gifts, even though he knows gifts are my love language. I bought him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his birthday last year, and I'm working on his gifts for this year as it falls close to Christmas. Last year, he didn't get me any gifts, but I didn't ask either because we had just started dating that November. We later spoke about it, and he promised to do better. I make sure to always make time for him because that's his love language. This really hurts because I genuinely don't feel loved, but I don't know how to tell him and not sound ungrateful about the dinner. What do I do? So this is basically Sheon speaking tonight. Sheon is in a relationship or has been in a relationship for 1 year now. And 2 months ago, her boyfriend sent her a lot of sweet voice notes and posted her on all his social media. I believe the timing of this is wrong. I think she means this month because her birthday, I'll explain. I think she means this month. On her birthday this month, because she said they started dating that November. So her birthday is obviously in November. So November is last month, I believe. No, this month is November. Oh my God, this month is November. Yes, this month is November. So I believe that's what she meant to say. On my birthday this month, my boyfriend of 1 year sent me a lot of sweet voice notes, posted me on all his social media, and wrote nice things about me. He also took me to a very nice restaurant for dinner that night. All of these were nice, but he didn't buy me any gifts, even though he knows that gifts are my love language. I bought him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his birthday last year, and I'm working on his gifts for this year as it falls close to Christmas. Last year, he didn't get me any gifts, but I didn't ask either because we had just started dating that November. We later spoke about it and he promised to do better. I make sure to always make time for him because that's his love language. This really hurts because I genuinely don't feel loved, but I don't know how to tell him and not sound ungrateful about the dinner. So, what do I do? If I were you, what would you do? What advice would you give Sheon tonight? Sheon needs your advice and she needs to know what to do to be on top of this situation. She needs to know what to do and she doesn't want to lose her boyfriend as well. She wants to be able to communicate this in a way that will not make well. She wants to be able to communicate this in a way that will not make her sound ungrateful for the dinner that he spent money on, even though he didn't buy her any gifts. So, what are your thoughts? The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. You can also send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. That's where you can send text or WhatsApp messages to. And if you're listening live, you can listen live rather from any part of the world on the website www.wfm917.com, as well as downloading the Women Radio app on Google Play Store and on iOS as well. So when you call, remember to turn down the volume of your radio. We want to have a smooth conversation with you and want to hear you correctly. So please turn down the volume of your radio. If you're interested in joining the Adult Conversations family group chat, then please do send in a message, a WhatsApp message. Send in a message on WhatsApp with your name and WhatsApp number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537, indicating interest in joining the group, of course, and you'll be added onto the group. Now, what are your thoughts tonight about this story? Sharon is saying she's in that space where she doesn't really feel loved because her love language is not directly being spoken to her. And that's a challenge. Now, sometimes it might sound like she's being ungrateful, it might sound like she's making a mountain out of a molehill. But you would agree with me that if you've ever been in a close relationship with someone and they're not feeding you the things that you want to be fed with, they're not loving you in the way that you want to be loved, at the end of the day, you know they love you, but you don't feel that they love you. So that can take its toll on the relationship after a while. And remember, they've been together for 1 year. So, what is it that you think that Sheung should do concerning this? Should she tell him about it or should she not tell him about it? What do you think she should do basically? Remember that he spent money on a nice dinner for her that night on her birthday. He also sent her lots of beautiful, sweet voice notes and he posted her on all his social media as well and wrote nice things about her. So Sean is trying not to come off as asking for too much, so to speak. So what are your thoughts? 07000 Do you think this is even worth a conversation? Of course it is. This is Adult Conversations on Women Radio WFM 917. So what are your thoughts on this story? Go ahead and call in to 07000 What do you think should be done about this? You're directing your advice to Sheol because she's the one asking for advice. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. What's your name, please? Where are you calling from?
It's Francis from Ikorodu.
Francis.
Yes, ma.
Thank you for calling. How are
How
you
was
today?
ma?
Work day, oh, my
Fine,
sister.
ma.
How are your side now?
Fine, ma.
All right. So, how you take reason this matter today?
Okay, ma. Based on my own experience, one-sided relationship is really hurting. It's really hurting.
Hmm.
So it's not encouraging. So she know what she wants, but as for me, no, I have to consider it and then take my decision.
Hmm.
I cannot be involved in a one-sided relationship at all.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you advise her to do?
She should still, as in, at least they have tried. They have shown her, they have celebrated with her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she should give him some time. She should give him some time. At least, then she's studying him again. And let her know what she wants and what she doesn't want. And then let him know so that at least they will understand themselves. It's a matter of understanding. And let her open up.
To him, Abby. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Francis. Thank you for calling. So Francis is saying this kind of situations can be really hurtful because here you are, you know that they love you, you know that they're there for you, you know that they're trying to show you love in the way that they want to, in the way that they want you to know that they love you. But for some reason, you're not quite feeling that way because they're not speaking your love language. Francis is saying understanding is the most important thing at this point. So it will be better for her to open up to him and tell him what she wants. Tell him what she wants. And before that, she's also saying, give him some time. Give him some time. Your birthday was just probably earlier in the month. We're still in early the month, but maybe a couple of days ago or last week, I guess. Whatever the case is, please, you need to clarify. It was your birthday in October or in September, or was it this month? I need that clarification. It is so important. So because you said in your story that on your birthday 2 months ago, 2 months ago was September. So you said you started dating in November last year. So you said you had just done your birthday. I'm making a reference to that because you said last year he didn't get me any gifts and I didn't ask because we had just started dating that November. So are you saying you did your birthday in September and because you had just started dating in November, you didn't want to bother him for a gift for your birthday that has passed already? So I need to clarify so I can know what month to keep calling. All right. So Sharon, when exactly was your birthday? Let's clarify that. So Francis is saying understanding is the most important thing. You will need to speak to him concerning what you want so that both of you can be on the same page. And then also just be patient. Maybe he has something else on his sleeves and you don't, yes, and you don't know. Maybe. All right. So what do you think concerning this story? What do you think about it? Do you think she's asking for too much? Do you think it's too early to talk to him about this, about gifts? The fact that even if you did everything, because you didn't get me a gift, it would be like, you didn't really do anything. You didn't really do anything. Maybe that's the way she's feeling right now. Like, I know you did something. You sent me nice voice notes. You posted me on social media. Then you took me on a nice dinner, but you didn't buy me any gifts. So maybe she's feeling like, she's not being loved the way that she wants to. Just for the benefit of, this story tonight, when you say love language does not mean the way that you want to show love. If you're speaking somebody's love language, you're not showing them love the way you want to. You're not speaking your own love language to them. You're speaking their own love language to them. So if you like quality time, like Sharon's boyfriend does, then to make Sharon's boyfriend happy, Sharon has to always create time to spend with him. Now, again, it says quality time. It doesn't say quantity time. So that means it doesn't have to be 5 hours. It can be 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour of quality time where you're focused on him and you're listening to everything, and both of you have that quality time together. But for Sharon now, her love language is gifts, meaning that she wants to be shown that she is loved through the expression of gifts. So that's what she wants. That's what makes her feel special. That's what makes her feel loved. So if he's doing everything, if he's spending time with her, spending money on her, but he's not exactly buying her anything, even if he's giving her money, but he's not giving her any gifts, it might still come off as not enough. So, and just for the record, because I read up on this, a lot of people, the idea for gifts as their love language is to know that you're constantly thinking about them. It's just the knowledge that you're constantly thinking about them. They don't need the gifts to be too big. They genuinely don't need the gifts to be too big. They just want to know that you're constantly thinking about them. You saw something and you were like, oh, that dress is going to fit my girlfriend or my wife. And you buy it and you bring it home and be like, babe, I bought this dress for you. No occasion, it's not their birthday, it's not anything. It's just that you were on their mind. And that's what they want to know. That's the reason why a lot of people with love languages or people with their favorite love language as gifts always want to constantly be reminded that you, the person that they're spending their life with, is constantly thinking about them. And that's pretty much it. The other love languages are quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and words of affirmation. Quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and words of affirmation. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. In the meantime, what are your thoughts concerning this particular story? I'm going to read the story again because Sharon is basically highlighting this so that we can give her advice tonight. As a matter of fact, so that you can give her advice tonight. My name is Sharon. On my birthday 2 months ago, my boyfriend of 1 year sent me lots of sweet voice notes, posted me on all his social media, and wrote nice things about me. He also took me to a very nice dinner that night. All of these were nice, but he didn't buy me any gifts, even though he knows that gifts are my love language. I bought him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his birthday last year, and I'm working on his gifts for this year as it falls close to Christmas. Last year, he didn't get me any gifts, but I didn't ask either because we had just started dating that November. We later spoke about it and he promised to do better. I make sure to always make time for him because that is his love language. This really hurts because I genuinely don't feel loved, but I don't know how to tell him and not sound ungrateful about the dinner. So what do I do? What do I do? So if this was you, what would you do? 07000 For my marriage, she don't really think this matter because she don't want to look like say she know the grateful say the guy buy her, nice dinner and all of that. The guy took her out, you dress up and he probably spent a good amount of money. Maybe not a lot, but he probably spent a nice amount of money on the dinner. So maybe this is a financial issue. Maybe this is a financial issue. Maybe it's that because he spent a good amount of money at that nice dinner, because for her to say the dinner was nice, I believe they probably went to a nice restaurant, had some grown up fun, dress up. They probably took a cab there, just so that they could celebrate the whole thing. And getting there, maybe they ordered something really nice, something a bit outside of their normal price range because he was trying to celebrate her. So one school of thought would say that that dinner could actually be a gift. But probably if he doesn't put it that way to her, she may not really understand it that way. So do you think this dinner was a gift? Or do you think this dinner was one way of saying I love you? But because he spent money on that dinner, maybe he didn't have enough to go on with the expression of gifts. So what do you think? 07000 is the number to call. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube today as well. So go on Facebook and on YouTube and watch the video. Go on Facebook and YouTube, watch the video, and share the link with your friends, share the link with people around you. These are stories that relate to the heart. These are heart related matters, and everyone definitely has an interest in things of the heart, matters of the heart. So share it. The handle is at WFM917 across all social media platforms. At WFM917. All right, I'm going to read some comments of the Adult Conversations family. So if you want to join that group chat on WhatsApp, then make sure to send in your name and WhatsApp number indicating interest in joining that group. Send this information on WhatsApp. You're sending a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. So, what are your thoughts on this story tonight? What do you think? I'm going to go on to read some of the messages, and this one is coming from Madam Mumi from Magboro. Madam Mumi is saying, my sister Sheung, you need to recognize or you need to understand that if you don't tell a doctor where your pain is, he wouldn't know the kind of treatment to give you, or better still, the kind of medicine to administer to you. Please just open up to your boyfriend and tell him you want gifts instead of the dinner. But remember that you cannot have both because he might not be buoyant enough to give both the dinner and the gifts. But learn to be appreciative if you want your relationship to go far. And always express your feelings with love and respect to him, please. And that's coming from Madam Mumi from Magboro. Thank you very much, Madam Mumi, for that word. Thank you for that one. And this one is coming in from A Square Cakes and More from Matogon Okearo. A Square Cakes and More is saying, Dear Shemun, I would encourage you to express yourself now before you go too far in the relationship. Let him know your values clearly so that he would know and accept you for who you are. However, I would like to remind you that him buying all these material things does not assure you of his love 100%. And that's coming from Esquire Cakes and More from Matogun Okiario. Now, there's 100% truth to that because you can never really tell how much someone loves you just by what they give you, even if your love language is gifts. As a matter of fact, because your love language is gifts, that particular love language is very easily manipulated. It's very easily manipulated. I'm sure you've heard about cases where women are being abused. Maybe a rich man married a woman from a humble background, or even if it's not from a humble background, but he knows that she likes nice things. So even if he's said some really degrading things to her, whether in private or in public, whether in front of the children or in front of his family or in front of her family, whatever the case is, whether he beat her up black and blue that she landed in the hospital, whatever the case is, as long as he can buy her gifts, he never really feels remorseful because he'll do it again and again and again. So I'm sure you've heard of stories like that. this particular love language of the expression of gifts can be very manipulative. So, in the words of 8 Square Cakes and More, I would like to remind you that buying all these material things for you does not assure you of his love 100%. So, that is definitely food for thought for Sheung tonight. 07000 is the number to call. What do you think that Sheung should do? What do you think she should do? How do you think she should manipulate, or how do you think she should handle this situation? This is her boyfriend of 1 year. All right, so I'm reading a message from Sheung, and Sheung is saying they actually started dating in November last year. So November this year makes it 1 year. And yes, her birthday was 2 months ago. So her birthday was in September. Last year, they started dating in November. So her birthday had already passed. So she didn't ask him for any gifts because number one, it had passed. Number two, they had just started dating that November. She didn't feel the need to ask for gifts for a birthday that had passed. But they later spoke about it, and he promised her that he would do better with the area of giving gifts. So that's the current situation. So her birthday really was in September. So it's actually been 2 months now. It's actually been 2 months now that she's done the birthday, and her boyfriend still hasn't given her any gifts. So this kind of really explains the story in a new light. It's been 2 months. So if you said earlier that maybe you should be patient with him, give him some time. Maybe if he spent a lot of his money on the dinner, then maybe he doesn't have enough and he needs to save up some more for some other things and other things that he wants to do in his life as well. The fact that you're his girlfriend doesn't mean you're his only responsibility. So that's also that. But what do you think? What do you think about the story? I want you to call in and give advice to Sheung. 07000 917. If this was you, if you were Sheung, how would you approach this situation? How would you approach this situation? Would you even talk about it? Or you wouldn't? How would you approach this situation? Would you even talk about it? Or you won't talk about it at all because you don't want to sound ungrateful for the dinner that he took you on your birthday night? What do you think? 07000 917 is the number to call. I would love to hear from you. Send in a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts tonight? Do you agree that she should talk to him according to what Madam Wumi said? Or do you think that she shouldn't bother about it because she said she doesn't want to sound ungrateful? I'd like to hear from you. 07000 917. Let's go. 07000 917. You should also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. This is Adults Conversations on Women Radio 91.7.
Name says it all. Women Radio 91.7. Name says it all. Women Radio 91.7.
My people are hello. Now, better levels are coming land on automatic bosa. Lord Festival of Joy promo. This one gonna hello like a law. Protect like soft from blow. They don't wait for a price and yet. Then not give for win. 20 brand new house. 24 total new cars. 100 generators. 200 sewing machine. 1,000 rechargeable fan. And thousand upon thousand other price them days. Just dial *611# to enter and win inside the Globe Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data. Your luck will shine to win brand new house. If you cost the recharge or load data will cost from 500 naira, go reach 10,000 naira every month, week, or every day. New or Taraka plus other fabulous price. The feel learn your hand here. Make you dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions there.
Hello, Unlimited. My children and surprises. Adane buys my favorite 3 Crowns milk regularly. And as for Chinedu, that one makes it rain with monthly upkeep. They even plan to take me to Dubai someday soon, so I can see Burj Khalifa and other fine places.
Win your mom a trip to Dubai. Buy 3 Crowns milk products worth 2,000 naira. Write a note to say thank you to your mom. Post it on www.3crowns.com.ng and she could be one of the lucky winners to Dubai. Terms and conditions apply. 3 Crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
2023 general election don't come o. Time don't come to move Nigeria forward with our vote. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates wey no dey use women play. Candidates wey carry woman matter for head. Women o, make una get una permanent voters card, PVC. Make we vote better.
Now, Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
My people are hello. Now better levels are coming land on automatic bosa. Love Festival of Joy promo. This one gonna help the Lord. Protect like soft from blow. Stage away bracket price and yet. Then not give it for win. 20 brand new house, 24 Tata new cars, 100 generators, 200 sewing machine, 1,000 rechargeable fan, and 1,000 upon 1,000 other prize them days. Dial star 611 hash to enter and win inside the Globe Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data. Your luck fish shine to win brand new house. If you cost the recharge or loan data will cost from 500 naira, go reach 10,000 naira every month, week or every day. New or Jalaga plus other fantabulous price and feel on your hand. Make your dial star 611 hash now to enter and win. Terms and conditions there.
Hello, Unlimited.
Ní Women Radio 91.7 àmọ̀rírì rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a sì ń fẹ́ láti súnmọ́ ẹ sí. Ní báyìí, ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ mẹ́rìndínlógójì ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣé oníṣòwò ni ẹ́? Oníṣòwò aládàáni, akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nílé ìwé, òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì, ìyàwó ilé tàbí àgbẹ̀? Women Radio wà fún yín láì ná yín ní ohunkóhun. Forúkọ sílẹ̀ ní wfm917.com. O sì tún lè darapọ̀ mọ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio ní Facebook group gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́. A ó bá ọ ṣe ìgbélárugẹ okòwò rẹ ní Women Radio tí wàá sì tún láǹfààní láti máa jẹ ẹ̀bùn tó jọjú lóṣooṣù. Dáúnlóòdù mobile app wa kó o sì máa gbọ́ wa níbikíbi tó bá wà. Ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Women Radio yóò mú ẹ ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú akẹgbẹ́ obìnrin bíi tiẹ̀ tó kù.
Political arena.
Time for us to know those who have put Nigeria in this condition.
To a large extent, religious institutions in Nigeria have failed in enforcing the law, in ensuring that members are safe.
Over 180 million people, one country,
One capital,
26 states,
469 national assembly seats,
774 local government areas. This is Nigeria.
Stop doing this play game. It's not really fighting corruption. Stop doing this play game. It's not really fighting corruption. It's fighting opponents. It's fighting the past. It's all doing in the past.
How well do you know the political terrain of Nigeria? Today,
there's no such thing as keeping out of politics.
all issues are political games, and we are the players.
Political arena.
Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m.
On Women Radio,
On WFM 91.7.
political arena, politicking at all levels.
Radio Doctor, your free phone-in health consultation program. Every Thursday brings you medical experts in elderly health.
The elderly, they are peculiar. Their body system is actually changing. They are becoming like a newborn baby in the sense that their immunity wanes and dwindles. So when it's cold, especially in the mornings, in those areas that it's really cold, I'll advise that they use warm water.
Call in to get free consultation on elderly health on 07000 917 917 and 090 256 25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917. Text and WhatsApp to 0703 175 6537. You can listen live online on www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7.
Okay, now my love need any Koni baje, oh. No matter how we hustle, Alubarika loju. Koni baje, oh. Hey guys, it's your girl Toby Gray, aka Supersonic Queen, aka Queen Gravy. Right now, you are listening to my favorite radio station. It's WFM 91.7. Do not go nowhere, because Queen Gravy says so. Mwah.
23 minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7, 23 minutes to 7 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us, and I'll read the story again. Tonight, we're profiling the story of Shewan, and Shewan is saying this tonight. On my birthday 2 months ago, my boyfriend of 1 year sent me lots of sweet voice notes, posted me on all his social media, and wrote nice things about me. He also took me to a very nice dinner that night. All of these were nice, but he didn't buy me any gifts, even though he knows that gifts are my love language. I bought him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his birthday last year, and I'm working on his gifts for this year as it falls close to Christmas. Last year, he didn't get me any gifts, but I didn't ask either because we had just started dating that November. We later spoke about it and he promised to do better. I make sure to always make time for him because that is his love language. This really hurts because I genuinely don't feel loved, but I don't know how to tell him and not sound ungrateful about the dinner. What do I do? That's the question. What does she do? So Sean is seeking your advice on what to do tonight as regards how to handle this particular situation. She doesn't want to come off as ungrateful about the dinner, which he spent some good money on. I don't know how much this money is, but for her to say the dinner was a nice dinner, it probably means he went maybe a bit more than he would typically spend on a random date for them. So maybe he spent a little bit more than he would typically spend when they go on a normal date. And she thinks that the dinner was nice. And to her, even though he spent money on that dinner and the dinner was nice, the fact that he didn't buy her any gifts it still makes her unhappy. Let me put it that way. It still makes her unhappy. So what do you think that she should do? Should she talk about this? Or should she just swallow it and treat the dinner as a gift? I mean, this is even me saying that could be an option. Just treat the dinner as a gift and move on. But I said something earlier and I'll say it again. For people whose love language is gifts, it's not because they just like to collect things from people. It's because they like to believe that they are constantly on your mind. So if you go out and you see something nice, or even when you're just scrolling through your phone and you see something nice and you order it for them, they feel like, oh, you're constantly thinking about them. And that's why you can buy them things, even though it can be small, it can be food, it can be anything, literally. But the fact that you come back and say, oh, I got this for you, unprovoked, it's not their birthday, it's not their anniversary, it's no special day. Sometimes, literally, but the fact that you come back and say, oh, I got this for you, unprovoked, it's not their birthday, it's not their anniversary, it's no special day. Sometimes, of course, including special days, but it just makes them believe that they are always on your mind. So that's actually the thought process behind people whose love language is gifts. So I don't know how best to explain this, but Shawn currently is saying that she genuinely doesn't feel loved. Now, she and the boyfriend have been dating for a year now, and at this point, I mean, once you clock a year in a relationship, you should feel a certain level of certainty, whether or not, or you should feel a certain level of assurance in whatever it is that you feel. Are you assured that he loves you? Are you assured that he doesn't love you? then you figure that out. With 1 year comes that reality check that okay, what are we really doing? So this is 1 year, and Shewan is saying her birthday was actually 2 months ago. So it's been 2 months that she did her birthday, and she still hasn't gotten any gifts from him. So what do you advise that Shewan should do? 07000 917 917 are the numbers is the number to call. 07000 917 917. What do you think about this story? What do you think she should do? Do you think there's anything to do about this? Or she should just forget it and go on with the relationship? Just, forget it and count it all joy, like the Bible says. So what do you think she should do? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. All right, I'm going to go on Facebook now. And this one is coming from Chris Ayenobong. And Chris is saying, be patient. He may be testing your patience. Be patient. He may be testing your patience. So Chris thinks this might actually be a test. And I've heard guys actually say, oh, I tested that babe and she for my hand. I give her a small test. She just fell on. And now, where should the vet say, buy and give? She don't know say that test. So, but what is she supposed to do? Chris says, be patient. He may be testing your patience. Now, remember that it's been 2 months. So maybe it really is a test. Maybe not. I wouldn't know. Kamsi Adachuku on Facebook again is also saying, the truth here. Kamsi Adachuku on Facebook again is also saying, the truth here is most men don't fancy giving ladies gifts. They can even do shout out for you, send you text, post messages, and whatnot. But you see gifts there. But when they really want to surprise you, they really go all out. Nah, you go scream. At this point, that shouldn't be a problem. But dialogue will help a lot. That shouldn't be a problem, but dialogue will help a lot. So Kamsi is saying, generally, in her opinion, men don't really like giving gifts. Men, is that true? Is that really true? You don't like giving gifts? Not so economy bad, Rich. How far now? Wait till they really saw. I have to ask this question because honestly, I am bothered about this, particularly for ladies whose love language is gifts. I mean, honestly speaking, would they ever feel any kind of love? All right, so men, please defend your case. All right, so Kamsi is saying generally men don't really like giving ladies gifts. They can do shout out, they can send you messages, they can send you texts. But when it comes to giving you gifts, that's not really what they do. But for the ones who want to go out of their way to surprise you, they really go all out and they go out big. So she's saying that at this point, that shouldn't be a problem, but maybe dialogue will help. So on some level, this goes back to what Chris Ayenobong said earlier about being patient. You never really know if he wants to buy you something, but at the moment he can't afford the thing that he thinks that you would like. So maybe he's trying to gauge, what he can afford until he can afford something that you like, and that might be taking some time. And remember, it's for your birthday, so he knows that this might be very special to you, and it's your 1 year birthday in that relationship. That's your first birthday in that relationship. So he might be thinking, I want to make this special for my girlfriend, and I want to buy her something nice. But the money we are not spending on top of that dinner we do last time, now we do on the birthday that money don't cast down, don't finish. And money no too plenty again. Money don't cast down, don't finish. And money no too plenty again for my hand. Maybe if they pay salary like back to back for like 3-4 months, I go fit attend to other things and still save some small money from that one way they don't pay. Then I go collect other money, put them together, buy my girlfriend better gift for her birthday. Yes, it will be belated birthday gift because birthday don't pass. But now on me say, I know if you talk, say, babe, I got this for you for your birthday 6 months ago. It doesn't matter. It's the gesture that counts. It's the heart that counts, right? Ladies, am I speaking for you? 7,000 917 917 is the number to call. Make a no go for my hand. Ladies, I want to say, and men, do you really not buy gifts? And I also have to direct this to men. If you were Sheil's boyfriend and she came up to you and told you this about wanting to express the fact that she doesn't feel loved enough because you didn't buy her any gifts, even after you took her for a nice dinner? Would you be offended? Is that something you can understand, that it's a love language and you didn't quite express that? Or you could just vex? I want to know. What do you think about it? Do you think she should speak on it? Or do you think she should do something else? That's something else. I'll leave it to you. Tell me what the something else is and we'll go from there. What do you think that she should do? 07000 917 is the number to call. What are your thoughts? Minutes to 7 on Women Radio 91.7. This is still Adult Conversations where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. I'm still here. My name is Sumto Titilayo Achama, and I want to take your calls, your messages, and your opinion on what Sheol should do. The story tonight is about Sheol. She's been in a relationship with a boyfriend for 1 year. She started dating him in November last year. But before she started dating him, she had celebrated her birthday 2 months before. That was in the month of September. Now, this month in November makes it 1 year. But 2 months ago, when it was her birthday again in September, her boyfriend did lots of nice things for her. He posted her on social media. He sent her lots of sweet voice notes, and he wrote nice, captions for her on social media. And he also took her to a nice dinner that night, the night of her birthday. But she's saying despite all of this, she doesn't really feel loved because he didn't get her any gifts. He didn't get her any gifts, knowing that gifts are her love language. So gifts are her love language, and she's asking herself, why didn't he get me any gifts if he knows that gifts are my love language? Now for him, his love language is quality time. So Sheol says she makes enough time she makes sure to spend enough time with him because she knows that gifts are not his thing, but quality time is his thing. But even though gifts are not his thing, she still bought him birthday gifts last year since his birthday, and she's working on the one for this year since his birthday falls closer to Christmas. She said she bought him a nice wristwatch and a nice pair of sneakers for his birthday last month, and she's working on the one for this year. So she's wondering, if I make time for you and I also spend my money on you, I buy you gifts, then why won't you just buy me gifts, particularly when you know that gifts are my love language? If gifts are your love language and you're tuned in right now, maybe you can relate. And if you can, why not call in and give advice to Sheol? Sometimes this world does not work the way it works in our head. So maybe she's thinking it in her head that, oh, he is not speaking my love language. I don't know what to do. I'm tired of this relationship. And maybe that's not what to do. Maybe that's not how to think. How would you advise that she thinks about this? And what do you think she should do? She's saying she doesn't want to bring it up because she doesn't want to sound ungrateful about the dinner he took her on her birthday night. So what do you think? 07000 What do I do is what Sheung is asking. What do I do? What do I do? What would you do if you were Sheung? Or even if you're not Sheung, but you understand how she feels because your love language is gifts. Or maybe you don't understand and you just want to give advice. I would love to hear from you. Just want to give advice. I would love to hear from you. Whatever side of the spectrum you fall on, the number to call is 07000 07000 Make sure you send in your text message or your WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Going back on the Adult Conversations Family Group chat, Chinwe from Ejigbo is saying, good evening, lady. Open up and talk to him. He might think that he was doing you good, not knowing that it was not what you wanted. And that's coming from Chinwe from Ejigbo. He might think that he was doing something good for you, but not knowing that it's not what you wanted that he was doing. Interesting school of thought there. All right, what do you think? 07000 07000 You're a guy and you're Sheung's boyfriend. Well, think about it as, if you're in Sheung's boyfriend's shoes and Sheung comes to tell you that, babe, I really appreciate the dinner you took me to on my birthday, but I'm doing something nice. How are you going to feel about that? Would you understand that gifts are a love language, or would you be repulsed and annoyed by that request? Hello, good evening. Okay, can you call back? 07000 is the number to call. 07000 What do you think that Sheung should do? I want to hear from you. 07000 is the number to call. If you're just tuning in, feel free to still put the call through. If you've been tuned in from the beginning, then of course you should put the call through. 07000 That's the number to call. 07000 If you're shy and you don't want your voice to be heard live on air, then you can also send in a message. Send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. We're still streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 917. So you can go on there, have a good time watching the program, share the links with other people around you, and let this go far. Let this go to anyone that you think should be listening to this. This is Adult Conversations, and here we discuss matters relating to the heart. We share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Do you think this is a conversation too early, 1 year relationship? I mean, they've had this conversation about how gifts are her love language. I believe that's how she also knows that spending quality time with him is her way of expressing love to him, because that's what he wants. That's how he knows to receive love. So if they've spoken about this before, why is it that, she still feels the way she feels because of something that he did? Or is this a function of perspective? Could it be that the dinner was the gift, but she didn't think about it like that because he never said it in that way? He never said, babe, I'm glad you had a nice dinner. This is my gift to you. Babe, I'm glad you had a nice dinner. This is my gift to you for today. In that way. He never said, babe, I'm glad you had a nice dinner. This is my gift to you for today. And I love you so much. And, all of that, all the sweet things that men say to women. So maybe that was a gift. Maybe she just needs to shift her perspective. But how would she know this if he doesn't see it? Could this also be a test? If you're a man, is this something that you can test the woman you want to be with over? Is this the kind of test that you can give somebody you're in a relationship with, a relationship of 1 year? So let's hear your thoughts. I'm all for different schools of thought, and I want to know what you think about this. Do you think Sheung is being silly for even thinking about this in the first place? Like, how would you say somebody spent money on you to get a nice dinner and you still ask for gifts? You know the zero, you know the CC economy gets as it be. If that's what you're thinking, call in 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. Send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. This message is coming from Summer Breeze from Lagos. Summer Breeze says, well, probably you should develop a couple game where you ask intimate questions and put in questions that relate, put in questions that relate. Something like, between a dinner and 500 naira gift, which would you prefer? Between a dinner and 500 naira gift, which would you prefer? Since you don't want it to look like you're being ungrateful, probably this is another way. This is an intelligent thought. This is a very intelligent thought, but will he still get the message? Will he get the message? I'm guessing that this depends on the kind of person that Sean's boyfriend is. So imagine playing that kind of game, and she asks him a question, he answers, and then she asks him other questions, he asks her questions, and they're going back and forth about it because it's a game. And somewhere in between, it's her turn to ask, and she asks him, and he asks her, yes, he has to be the one to ask the question. Something like between a dinner and 500, a good idea for couples. Wow, Summer Breeze, thank you so much. This is a really good idea for couples. This is one way to have fun while also knowing what your partner likes and doesn't like. So thank you very much for that one. And this is one extra tip for you if you're in a relationship right now. So if you're ever wondering, I don't think my husband or I don't think my wife likes this, yes, I believe that it should also work for couples and married couples, I mean. So you never can get tired of getting to know each other. Some of these questions can be very revealing. And I know online there are a couple questions that you can ask when you're dating, a couple questions you can ask when you're married, just play around with it. But for people in relationship, this one or this one, Summer Breeze don't drop this hot egusi soup for this evening. Because now, if on our practice this thing, we should talk so, on I go discover early the kind thing where your partner like. And you go know with time whether true, that thing where your partner answer for that particular game, not true or being a lie. So if your partner tell you, say, oh, because the gift is 500 naira, I know too like just give me the dinner. Then you go know say, if the dinner cost, she go like if you know too cost, she no go like her. So you go know say her mind know the thoughts, but now the amount where you spend, na her mind dey, or na him mind dey. So at least you go know where your where your left side or right side is enough for. You go know what to do in that kind of relationship, particularly when everybody don't open for outside. You understand? If you understand, that's it. If you don't know, forget about it. All right, back to adult conversations. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think concerning the story with Sheun tonight. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. What are your thoughts? 7 on Women Radio 91.7, and you're still tuned in to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Thank you very much for still staying tuned in, and I would like to hear your thoughts on this story. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this story. What do you think about this story tonight? This time, Sheon is the person whose story we're discussing. She's the person whose story that we're profiling. Sheon is basically trying to figure out her way around this relationship when it comes to genuinely feeling loved. And by that, I mean, Sheon says when it was her birthday 2 months ago in the month of September, she celebrated her birthday. And on that very day, her boyfriend sent her a bunch of nice voice notes, telling her how much he loves her and all of that. And also posting her on social media with some really, really nice captions, where you're like, oh God, where? Yeah, that kind of thing. So he posted all of that, sent the messages to her. She was able to see them. And he also took her on a nice dinner that night. Now, Sheon says, yes, I know he did all of this, but he didn't buy me any gifts. And he knows that gifts are my love language. I spend time with him. I endeavor to make sure I spend quality time with him because I know that that is his love language. So if I'm fulfilling that for him, I don't feel loved because he's not fulfilling mine for me. So she says, I don't know whether to tell him about it, about how I feel, because I don't want to sound ungrateful about the dinner. So last year when it was Sheon's birthday, she celebrated her birthday in September, it passed, and she got into this relationship in November last year. So her birthday had already passed and she didn't ask for any gifts from him because, the birthday had passed. But Sheon says, we spoke about this later and he promised to do better. We spoke about this later, and he promised to do better. So maybe he promised to like make every other birthday with her a really lovely one. I'm not sure what do better means specifically. Well, in this particular case, she was saying she spent time with him. She even went out of her way to buy him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his own birthday last year. And she's already working on his birthday gift for this year because it falls close to Christmas. So she doesn't know what to say. It's been 2 months now since her birthday, and he hasn't said anything about the gift. He hasn't bought any gifts, and she's wondering should she talk to him about it or not, particularly because she doesn't want to sound ungrateful about it. She doesn't want to sound ungrateful about the dinner specifically. What do you think? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 917. What do you think that Sharon should do? Call in and tell me your thoughts. What do you think she should do? How do you think she should handle the situation? The relationship is 1 year old. So to a large extent, one can be able to say, okay, they have true feelings for each other, or maybe they don't, or maybe person they play with person don't know as the other person they feel. All this different matter. At least in that 1 year, they would have been able to discuss and talk about their life together. So she just says, I genuinely don't feel loved. I genuinely don't feel loved. And I don't know if I should tell him so I don't sound ungrateful about the dinner. What do you think? Do you think she should discuss this with him? Madam Omi from Magboro says, talk to him about it. It's like the case with a doctor. When you don't tell him how you're truly feeling, he can't know the right medicine to give you. So maybe this is just the same type of situation. If she doesn't tell him, how then does he know how to love her the way that she wants to be loved? What do you think? Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, calling from. Hello, Ope. Thank you for calling again tonight. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
This matter is actually an interesting one. You see, when I started dating my wife, I'm the kind of person that I'm not decided to buy kids. I'm not buying kids.
Okay.
Because I am someone that, even when I'm going to buy you a gift, I am always confused on what to buy.
I can relate to that.
Generally, is that what?
I can relate to that. I'm always confused too.
So generally, I am not the kind of buy kids because if I want to buy you a wristwatch, I'll feel like, oh, you have already at home. Go to outside and this person will appreciate. So it's always very difficult for me to buy it.
Okay.
So when I started dating my wife, every of my birthday, I'll take her house. You know, we'll have a nice time together and this and that. Until the day she not go to my bed, for boy, you say, Galare, you don't even know how to kill somebody. So that you go kill them. No matter how spoiled it is. I go along there, romantic. Maybe he said that, you know, she said it jokingly, but I got the message. She said it jokingly, but I got the message. So from there, I said, okay, no problem, okay, let's keep that. So even if it's just a pair of shoes, maybe a sandal or something, and I saw and I think, okay, this is nice, I'll just get it for her. And then the way she will appreciate it, the fact. So, you know, when you're in relationship, you don't close your mouth.
Okay.
Communication is very important in relationship. You see, you might think that he has got something wrong, but he might, in his mind, might not know he has done anything wrong. Because in his mind, he has taken you out for dinner. He sent you messages. He believes that, okay, he has celebrated the birthday for you.
Exactly.
You understand? But he has not done what you expected. It is for you to look at his mood, when it's a good mood, and say it in a polite way.
Okay.
Don't give him the message. Let's just get the message that you love him and give you the love language. It's very simple now. Maybe you are just in a good mood there and just like, you know, you give me that, even give me kiss myself, you really sit down and you are love him. And you are love him. Why? You know, it's just, see, the truth is, women know how to press the one button of men.
I agree with you.
You understand?
Yes.
It is only if you have started not to get the code or you are not going to use that button.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's actually a simple case. Just talk to him, let him understand, but don't talk to him in an harsh way.
Of course.
Talk to him in a way that is going to get the message.
Thank you so much, okay. Thank you for calling, and thank you for sharing your experience as well. See, those experiences are very important because it tells you that there's somebody out there who probably feels the way you feel. So, obviously, in his own experience, this literally happened to him. His wife, when they were dating, I believe till now, also is a big fan of gifts. And then he just used to take her out, celebrate her, and never really buy anything. Until she told him jokingly that, oh, girl, you don't even buy gifts, you're not even romantic. And he got the message. He got the message. So, and I know in the story, Sheon says, even though he knows gifts are my love language, maybe he knows, but he needs reminding. So Opa is saying, talk to him politely and remind him. Hello, good evening. Grandma Lainka, thank you for calling. How are you today?
Thank you. I salute family members. I heard the studio members.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you, Grandma.
Thank you, Mr. Open. I love that. And other messages and letters have been very beautiful. You see, in my mind, I remember my own days when we are young. My own birthday, August 3rd, and then my man, August 4th. In fact, it's so romantic that sometimes I'm thinking that you might be my beautiful.
God when, oh, God when.
So, it's a very romantic setting. Now you go training for London.
Okay.
So, you have about one particular year, even when it was, I think it was to celebrate the birthday. And after it's legal that we have to do this thing. He said he doesn't want party. I go, okay, just go for that. I said, okay, so I was not thinking. He said he doesn't want pleasure himself.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So I took him to one Chinese restaurant and I know he loves cologne. Designer cologne. So I went for the best. I eat it in my bag, and by the time I was looking at the glass, chopping everything, it said almost, I don't want presents in door. I said, okay, do we want this for all my phone? So you see, for what the Southern said, and what my darling Dr. is going through, I love you with text message. You will let him know his love, the way you present it in a loving manner. And I was just thinking when you are telling us the story that this is a mature man, that the lady has given you present, this was and some other things. You should know that this person will love gifts too. You know, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely,
so
I do.
The man, yes, and you can quite say, you may think, what will I buy? What will I do? Another person would have said, what do you want for your birthday? What sort of gift? We ask her.
Okay.
It's another way. If you are those days when Mr. Okai was confused.
And what to buy for his wife?
Yes, it's not the lady that will not say, okay, I want this, or okay, let's go to this particular shop.
Yes.
I will see what I want. I know lady stuff. Oh my dear, let him know. Since he can give you such nice dinner, outing, celebrate on social media. So he will happily accept it. But don't be as all of us are saying.
Yes.
Do it lovingly.
All right. Thank you, Grandma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So Grandma is of the opinion that it's actually relatable. It's understandable that you are kind of at a loss of what to do, but not doing anything won't help the situation. So she's also in support with what Okwe said. Speak to him. Let him know how you feel. And she's saying, but don't be harsh about it, which again is what Okwe said earlier. Don't be harsh about it. Be polite. You can say it jokingly. You can say it in a text. You can, however you want to put it, let it be sweet enough for him to understand the message. And that's the most important thing, making sure that he understands the message. You're his girlfriend. To a large extent, you know how to communicate with him. So just do your thing and speak to him the way that you know that he will understand what you're talking about. So I know you said, I've spoken to him about it, he knows, but it doesn't hurt for you to say it again and again. But don't sound like a broken record at the end of the day, because it takes away the entire point of it. 07,000 917 917. What do you think that Sheon should do tonight? Do you think she should keep talking about it, or do you think she should not mention it at all? Or do you think she should treat the dinner as a gift? I came up with that earlier, and I still think on some level, maybe that could be another way out. Maybe that could be another way out. Do you agree with that? Or what exactly do you think concerning this one? Hello, good evening. Hello? All right, call back if you can, please. Call back if you can. So this is that very sensitive part of the entire situation. You know, you're 1 year into the relationship. You don't want to sound ungrateful. You don't want to sound like you don't care about the guy. You probably know some of his financial challenges if he has, but you also are not asking for too much. You know, just like Okwe said with his wife earlier when they were still boyfriend, girlfriend. You don't need to bring the world. You don't need to buy me a bag worth 15 million naira. I don't need that. I just need to know that you're constantly thinking about me and that I was in your mind on that particular day when you bought so thing. So it might not be a big gift. It might just be something that tells you that, oh, I remember that you mentioned you needed this, or I just wanted to do something really nice for you and I think you would like this, so I bought you this. You know, so what do you think? What do you think about this? Is this too much to ask for? You know, is it? It's 1 year. 1 year can mean anything. In 1 year, in a lot of relationships, some people have proposed under 3 months. Some people have proposed under 6 months. So for those kind of people, 1 year is like, why would not waste time? Why waiting they play? Why would not waste time? Then for some of that people where they don't date for like 3 years, that 1 year like now like, oh, we still they get to know each other. So 1 year for different relationship, they're different. What is this 1 year to you, and how far do you think you've gone enough to tell him something like this? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Young. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Young. Thank.
My name is Young. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Young. Thank you for calling. All right, we're racing against time at this point, so let's quickly go for it. And my day was good. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good day too.
Yeah, man. Yes, this thing I always talk about giving and loving. I always tell people you can give without loving. But you cannot love without giving.
That's a true one. You can give without loving, but you can't love without giving.
You can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving.
Okay.
Any person that is matured enough to love somebody will be matured enough to know that you have to give without somebody asking you for it, without your lover asking you for it. That's one of the maturities in love. No matter how small, when you give somebody a gift, no matter how small, it makes a great impact. in the life of somebody you love.
So what do you think Shion should do? Because right now, our boyfriend know they,
For me,
our boyfriend know they do this thing where we talk
because,
so.
because the story you read says that the first one, her last year birthday has gone before they met.
Yes.
They saw how they discussed about it, and he promised
to do better.
He promised that to do better. That means he's aware that this lady cherishes gifts.
Yes.
And the other part of it says that he knows that gift is my love language. So what other discussion are we suggesting that they have to discuss about it? He knows. He knows.
Okay.
So for me, my advice on this is that since she gave gift last year and she's preparing for another gift for the birthday this year, what I would suggest, what I'm saying my opinion actually,
of course,
hold on to that gift after his birthday and watch whether he will complain about it or not. Then you will remind him of your own. That's my opinion.
Interesting.
That's my suggestion.
Interesting.
Hold on to your gift. Buy whatever you want to buy. Prepare whatever you want to prepare. After his birthday and he now asks you for his gift, present it to him and then remind him how you feel for him not giving you gift on your birthday.
Okay, thank you so much, Young. Thank you for that one. So Young says, because he already knows that your love language is gifts, you've spoken about this, and to your understanding, he understands that gifts are your love language. So because he knows, Young is saying, this one you're preparing for him this close to Christmas, that is his birthday now, maybe you should chill on it. He's not saying don't buy it. He's saying buy the stuff that you want to give him, but don't give him yet. Don't give him yet. So if he now talks about, you didn't even buy me any gifts, and then you can use that means to tell him that buy you gifts. You say, if you buy me gift for my own, and then you can bring it up and both of you can avidly discuss the matter. Do you think this is best? What do you think concerning the story? How do you think that Sheung should handle this? It's 23 minutes past 7 and we're still discussing Sheung's story tonight. What are your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, this is Summer Breeze from Lagos.
Summer Breeze, thank you for calling. Summer Breeze, that your free tip that you gave. Very important.
Yes. Actually, I'm calling in relation to what the last caller said.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel that you still have to know his temperament. It may be a little bit harsh on you. Men sometimes are like, majorly men are like babies. So
sometimes men don't like it when we say that. Men are like babies. Go on, please.
Yeah. So you actually have to intelligently use the information you have to, just like Grandma said and Mr. say, intelligently and jokingly let him know. But coming in harsh like revenge of a thing, you have to cool down. It's still fresh. You have to just calm down and use your brain. That's what I feel anyway.
All right. Thank you so much, Summer Breeze. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Yeah.
All right. So Summer Breeze was the one who said the comment about maybe playing a couples game where you can ask a question like, between a dinner and a $500 gift, which one would you like? So she's saying maybe you can slot in a question like that and ask him, and then or have him ask you. Anyway, whichever way it goes, you must answer the question so that you can get the message to him. But she's also saying that she supports what Okpe and Grandma have said to, still talk to him about it. Now, contrary to what Young is saying, Summer Breeze is not particularly in support of that because she says the idea of revenge might not necessarily solve the issue. But then again, if you buy me gifts, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't like to receive gifts. I think a lot of people like to receive gifts. But if gifts are not my thing, like I love it when you do nice things, but I would rather you spend time with me. And according to her, quality time is his love language. So if she holds off on the gifts, now this is me just, putting it out there and checking for what you think. If she holds off on the gift, according to what Young has said, and he gets upset that he didn't get any gift, he may not even be upset. He might just ask her like, so True, buy me anything. And then maybe if it's done in a light-hearted manner, then it will still pass the message. She can still say what she wants concerning the fact that he didn't get her something. So I'm not sure how this works. Again, relationships are very unique. So sometimes you can't say that the thing that works for A will work for B. What do you think about the story? Do you think Sheon should do what Young said? Hold on to the gifts, still buy it, or not that he will not buy it. I mean, not that she won't buy it, she'll buy it, but she'll hold on to it until he starts to ask. Then if he doesn't ask at all, then she can give it to him and then talk about it and all of that. 07000 917 is the number to call. What do you think about it? Because honestly speaking, this can be a deal breaker for some people in some relationships because they feel like I'm in this situation and I don't know what to do. I love this person, I care about them, I want to see them happy, but it's like they're not speaking my own love language. I know they care about me, but maybe they're not speaking the language that I want to hear. Could that be a really big problem, particularly in a case like this? What do you think the show should do? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. Send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. All right, I want to take your comments and I want to hear what you have to say. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. What are your thoughts on this one?
You are listening to WFM 91.7. Yeah. Keep your ear tuning. Everything bye.
My better people better don't land. Ives Medicare HMO now one of that ogbonge health maintenance organization where our government stamp gidigba for health insurance matter. My country people, why you go sick before you cover yourself? What if money no dey when you fall sick? Ives Medicare HMO get better health plan and benefit for organized private sector, schools, communities, and even private individuals and families. Ives Premium for all their plans dey pocket friendly. Na shikini money. Ives Hospital Network na all over Naija. Dem fit help you arrange treatment for Obodo Oyinbo. Their head office na number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge, off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. For more information, call 08093555863 or 08032639058. Ives Medicare, health protection in your colors.
Now, wow, things they happen, oh. My fellow women, to be ready for any form of attack,
harassment, assault, e better make you go this ogbonge website wey e be www.restforher.com. wey Rest for Her project don arrange for you or download her mobile app for Play Store to learn how to defend yourself. You fit also ask for help if person assault or harass you or anybody wey you know by calling 0800 40 40 40 40 for free. No wait until it happens to you before you by calling 0800 40 40 40 40 for free. No wait until it happens to you before you prepare yourself for.
Are you searching for durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products? At Eleganta Industrial City Limited, we put you first. From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and school tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, lady sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganta Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at Kilometer 68 Lekki Ekpe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeju Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665, or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@elegantagroups.com or sales@elegantagroups.com. You can visit our website www.elegantagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee.
My people are hello. Now better levels are carrying land on automatic bosa. Love Festival of Joy promo. This one the hello praise the Lord. But make life soft from glow. They don't wait for a price and yet. Then no give it back for win. 20 brand new house, 24 Tata new cars, 100 generators, 200 sewing machine, 1,000 rechargeable fan, and 1,000 upon 1,000 other price them day. Just dial *611# to enter and win inside the Globe Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data. Your luck will shine to win brand new house. If you cost the recharge or low data will cost from 500 naira go reach 10,000 naira every month, week or every day. New or Taraka plus other fantabulous price them feel loan your hand. You don't know bicycle they sleep. Make you dial *611# now to enter and win. Terms and conditions there.
Hello, Unlimited.
2023 general election don come o. Time don come to move Nigeria forward with our vote. Make we join hands together and vote for better candidates. Candidates wey no dey use women play. Candidates wey carry woman matter for head. Women o, make una get una permanent voters card, PVC. Make we vote better.
Now, Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio 91.7 bring una this message.
Whatever you call it, be it apropos, cable, gist, or gossip, best believe we've got you covered 100%. Join me, NY, and Snow every Friday at 7:15 p.m. for the best of entertainment gist only on Blogscoop.
Are you a woman who is keen on breaking the bias? Are you looking for a welcoming community with a strong support system that empowers the female gender? Do you need a safe space that is candid, original, and authentic like the queen you are? Then this is the program for you. Tune in to Real Women Real Talk with Kiki Okewale on Women Radio 91.7 FM every Friday by 5 p.m. as Kiki Okewale brings on different leading women who will give you a bite into their growth journey and how they beat all odds to become who they are today. Real Women, Real Talk.
What are the consequences of corruption on the woman? Silence. Silence through diverse forms. Education, healthcare, laws and policies fostering unfavorable conditions to the woman at all levels. The Woman Agenda, breaking that silence, demanding accountability, transparency, and good governance. The Woman Agenda is deliberate and calculative in amplifying the voice of women. The Woman Agenda,
Fridays, 3 p.m.
on Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind.
How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means. Because
We should address Nigerian problems.
This is Panorama, Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5 a.m.
And WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM 917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
On Women Radio 91.7. This is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight, we're discussing the story of Shehu. Shehu's story is a story we're profiling, and we're doing this because Shehu's story revolves around the subject of love languages. So if that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. And of course, remember to put the call through to 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Also, you can send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. I'll go over the story in a second. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, please? Where are you calling from?
My name is Caroline from Moray.
Hey, Caroline. Thank you for calling. All right, very quickly, please go ahead.
Okay. I think we just talk to the guy. Just like me, like this. I cherish gifts more than any other thing. If you don't call me, don't post me, don't take care, don't do anything. If I don't even take me, if I don't send the gift, as long as you give me. I cherish gifts more than any other thing on my birthday. So she should just talk to the guy about she feels because it's not God. I don't know what is in my mind.
Okay.
So you should be free with him and just share my with him.
All right.
So that he can.
Okay. Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you for that. Caroline says so that he can satisfy her and it can make her happy, she should talk to him about it. She should share her thoughts with him. She should share what she feels with him. He's the one they're the ones in the relationship. She's dating him, he's dating her. And if she's making him happy, then she should at least give him the opportunity to make her happy. Now, I must say that it's not a function of not being told because he knows about this. He actually does know about it. Personally, I think maybe there's a little bit of a finance issue here. Maybe he spent money on the dinner and after that he wasn't so financially buoyant to buy anything else or anything else that he thinks that she would like. So maybe he didn't want to buy her something small and he didn't have enough money to buy her something big. So maybe he's saving up for something else that she would really like. Or, as someone said, maybe it's a test. Maybe he's trying to test her to see how patient she can be. However, I don't agree with such tests. I don't know what you do, and I don't know what you think about that. But if it's a test, that is the wrongest way to test someone. What do you think, though? 07000 917 917. Go ahead and call in. We still have a couple of minutes, and we can still take some calls. So as long as you call in and you keep it brief, yes, I'll hear from you. 07000-917-917. What do you think about what Sheon should do? For the benefit of those who are just tuning in, I'll read the story as sent in so it's easier to remember. My name is Sheon. On my birthday 2 months ago, my boyfriend of 1 year sent me a lot of sweet voice notes, posted me on all his social media, and also wrote nice things about me. He took me to a very nice dinner that night as well. All of these were very nice, but he didn't buy me any gifts, even though he knows that gifts are my love language. I bought him a nice wristwatch and a pair of sneakers for his birthday last year, and I'm working on his gifts for this year as it falls close to Christmas. Last year he didn't get me any gifts for my birthday, but I didn't ask either because we had just started dating that November. Just so you know, we're talking about September. So September was her birthday. September had passed before she met him. So she didn't think she should bring up the subject of a birthday that was already gone. But she said, we have spoken about this. We later spoke about this, and he promised to do better. She also goes on to say, I make sure to spend time with him because that is his love language. This really hurts because I genuinely don't feel loved, but I don't know how to tell him and not sound ungrateful about the dinner. What do you think that Sheon should do? What do you think she should do? 07000-917-917 is the number to call. And you can also send in your text messages or WhatsApp messages to 0703-175-6537. 0703-175-6537. Gloria from Ali Marshall says, good evening, Sumto. I think she should tell him because communication is the key. They should be honest with their feelings. And that's what Gloria is saying. Thank you so much for that message. Gloria, communicating with him is important. Communication generally is important. But she has told him this before. Do you think she needs to tell him again? Or what are your thoughts? 07000-917-917. Remember, you can also send in a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0703-175-6537. 0703-175-6537. What do you think about this? How should she handle this situation? They've been together for a year, so technically they, to some extent, know each other. You know, they know each other to some extent, and this knowledge of each other should be the thing that informs the dynamic in their relationship. But what do you think she should do? What do you think she should do? How do you think she should handle it? 07000-917-917. Remember that the most important thing to her right now is to make sure that she doesn't sound ungrateful about the fact that he spent some money on her on the dinner. So that's also something she's trying not to do. She's trying not to come off as ungrateful that he spent money on her during the dinner. And so it doesn't look like, what do you even want? Go. I spent money on you during the dinner. You still want another one. So she doesn't want that to be, a bad thing. She just wants to communicate how she feels and she wants him to do better. But do you think he knows and he's testing her? Or do you think he knows but he just forgot? Or do you think he knows, but maybe he has money issues and he can't really afford a really nice gift for her right now? So he's taking his time to see if he can make some extra money and then put the gift together. What do you think? 07000-917-917. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This Lady B speaking.
Hello, Lady B. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. I want to know, is the dinner not enough for the birthday gift for her?
Well, he never communicated that the dinner was a gift. So maybe that's why she doesn't process it as that.
I think she should be patient, and because it may not be the same way of a gift all the time. It could be some other means. So if I believe the guy made an effort to take her for a dinner, that should be also part of the gift to her. And she should be just careful the way she's taking the birthday gift thing.
Okay.
Because it's not all the time that gift giving is more important. She should, if the guy loves her and she knows that they are really truly in love, and maybe they took her for dinner. That should be enough for her for now, that they are just starting.
Okay.
You understand? Because probably the guy doesn't have much money.
Okay.
Or he could be planning something better for her. If she committed to me alone, those should be what she should be more concerned about. Because this gift of a thing, if they finally gotten married, it will not be coming the way she wanted. How will she do by then?
All right. Thank you very much, Lady B.
So she should just have a little patience
and
take things slowly so that she won't hurt herself at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling and thank you for sharing that. So Lady B says it's still relatively early in their relationship. You know, I said sometimes 1 year is a long time for some people. 1 year is not enough time for some people. So it's still fairly early in their relationship. And if she wants this to last, if she really loves him and she wants this relationship to last, it shouldn't be a problem accepting the fact that the dinner was a gift. It shouldn't be a problem, understanding or processing the dinner as a gift. So that gift should be enough, according to Lady B. But she's also saying that maybe as time goes on, they can talk more about it and figure things out. All right, incoming message from Promise B3 from Mile 12. Promise is saying, please, lady, be free to tell him. He must know your love language so that he can be informed. If you do not tell him, he will not be aware of what you love. Just tell him like this, baby, there's something special about me, right? There's something about, hey, let me get this straight. Just tell him like this, baby, there's something special about me that you don't know. He'll now ask, what? And then you say, okay, and he says, then she can tell him her love language. All right, what? And then you say, okay, and he says, then she can tell him her love language. All right, good tip. Thank you so much, Promise. So whatever the thing is, whatever the dynamic is in your relationship will determine how you approach certain situations. Though she says that she has spoken about this before to him, and he promised to do better. They talked about the fact that her love language is gifts, and they've also talked about the fact that his love language is quality time. So this conversation has been had before. But it's important to note that sometimes things just change. Sometimes things are not the way that we typically want them to be. So this could be the situation here. It could be that it's not really an issue and that she's making it into an issue. At the same time, it could be that there's no problem, but there's a problem probably with his finances, but he doesn't want to share it with her and that he's trying to tread carefully. But if they really love each other, open and honest communication is very key. Gloria from Alimash also says she should remind him politely. So being that they've had that conversation before, Gloria is saying you can now remind him politely, just in case maybe he forgot or something else came up and he used the money for something else. He can still remember that that is a priority for you, so he should still fulfill that particular need. All right, and we're nearing very close to the end of the program at this point. And I'm definitely learning a lot. I have learned a lot today, courtesy of everyone who has contributed. Thank you. Now, there's a lot that needs to be understood when it comes to love languages. There's a lot that needs to be understood. Sometimes people love you wholeheartedly, but they're not just speaking your love language. So as much as you know that they love you, somewhere in your mind you can tell that they love you, but they're not speaking your love language, so your heart doesn't feel it the way that it should. So communication is so important in relationships, and it is so important that people talk about these things. Promise B3 is saying, you're really doing well. I love your program. I wish it can span through 10 p.m. Thank you so much, Promise. I appreciate the feedback. So I'm going to wrap up with this today. Without open and honest communication, a relationship can only go so far. You would have unmet expectations, not unrealistic, but unmet expectations. You want something, you can't tell him because you're scared of how he would feel, And how you would feel is important. It's good to consider your partner's feelings, but you should also consider how you would feel after a while of them not meeting your own emotional needs. At the end of the day, whenever you now bring it up, they're wondering, if we've been dating for 2 years, why didn't you tell me this at the beginning? And then the excuse of, I wanted to spare your feelings, won't be tenable at that point, because now you'll have grown to resent that person for that thing they haven't been doing in all the years that you've been together. Something you could have just said at the beginning, Jeje, and everything will go away. So it's easy to talk about these things. I mean, it's not easy to talk about these things, but it is important to speak about them. Love languages are so key if your relationship has to work. Again, I'll give you the breakdown. Love languages, words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and of course, gifts. So whatever it is that ranks highly for you on your own level, on your own meter, so to speak, then you should communicate that to your partner. All these languages are important for each person. But for some people, one or two of them are on the high level, and the others are just, I can do without those, or I can do without them, or I can have them from time to time, from blue moon to blue moon. You understand what I'm saying. So thank you so much for contributing tonight. Thank you for sharing your experiences and, of course, giving advice to Sheon. Tonight, I believe that Sheon will be able to take an informed decision. And on behalf of Sheon, I say thank you again. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow, which is the last day of Adult Conversations for this week. Same time, 6 to 8 p.m., same station, Women Radio 91.7, and same program, Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Thank you to my engineers on duty and to you for tuning in again. My name is Somto Titlayo Ajama. Do have a lovely
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I for nobody.
Keep it locked.
I should have bought you flowers.
Where you are.
We on WFM 91.7.
Johnny, Joe.
Love is a beautiful thing. This love, not for you and me. Be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo. My love. It's the hand of God, now Him bring you to me. It's indescribable what you mean to me. Would you be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo? My love, oh yeah. Would you be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo? My love, my love, oh. And when the stars come out tonight, I'll think about you, my love, my love, oh. And in the dark I see your lovely eyes. Darling, you are my light. You are my light.